Hi everybody, welcome to History Made Awesome. My name's Eric, and today we're going to be doing something very similar to the last video I did. A lot of you guys, we have a lot of new subscribers here on the channel, and what you guys, hopefully some of you guys may or may not know, is that I do a lot of gaming videos, but I'm going to do something a little bit different from my previous gaming videos. I'm going to do an historical review series on Battlefield 5. Specifically, I'm going to look at the newest campaign titled The Last Tiger. Now, as you can see on the screen right now, there are a bunch of other interesting war stories can go. The Last Tiger, not only is it the most recent one, but it's also the most interesting thing, I think, from an historical perspective too, when it comes to video games. And one of the reasons is that because Last Tiger looks at the Second World War from the German perspective, which is something that we don't really see in a lot of movies or media, for that matter. I think because when you touch on the Germans, especially in the Second World War, you have, or the Japanese for that matter, you have to touch on a lot of touchy subjects, including, you know, with the Nazis, you had the Final Solution, and what they did to the Jews, and many of other people they considered to be undesirable people within their 100-year Reich, or however you say it. And so yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And then if you guys like this review, I'll definitely play the other ones, because I've seen a little bit of it. But I've not got a chance to actually play it or look deep into it. So if you guys want me to do a review of that, you know, leave a like and let me know in the comments below that you want to see these. But yeah, so let's get back to the video today. So I think the way I'm going to do this video is I might do a full gameplay, or I might do just like highlights of it, of what I think about it. But yeah, we're going to see how it goes, and of course you'll see how it goes in the edit, how I want. Hopefully you guys, we're going to start a little bit. Hopefully my glasses don't mess you guys up. But let's get into The Last Tiger. So I've not seen any gameplay from this game or any story, so I don't really. It's gonna be a really good reaction from me, hopefully. So let's look at what The Last Tiger says. 1945, Command Tiger won in the last stand against U.S. troops as they pushed toward the Rhine. Fight a defensive battle without hope from the command seat of one of the most feared vehicles of the war. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is late into the war. The Germans look like they're going to lose, and at this time as well, the Russians are coming on the Eastern Front. And I don't know when in 1945, but if it's around, I think, early to late 1945, they might already be in Germany already. With further ado, I think we should get into it. Ruhr region, Germany, spring 1945. General Bradley's 12th Army Group pressed the border of Germany. Revealed 17,000 takes, 20,000 pressed eastward. While German lines are in disarray, units are broken, separated, there are many not left. The Tiger tank is a legendary weapon, a war machine. Allies. Yes. What the Americans brought, maybe not the best quality of troops. I mean, they're good soldiers nonetheless, but they brought lots of troops, which is what they really had in the Second World War, was their industrial capacity, which really helped the Allies in the Second World War. The Germans were a lot more technologically advanced in terms of their weaponry and things like that, but they lacked the ability to produce large amounts of equipment. So whatever they lost, it was hard for them to replace weapons and things like that. So they're right on that part. Seems like we're in Africa, North Africa. This looks like British.
Als ich ein Kind war, wurde eine Gruppe von Jungs im Dorfladen beim Klauen erwischt. Mein Vater war außer sich, als er davon erfuhr. Aber ich habe doch gar nichts gestohlen. Vielleicht, sagte er.
Is that a Panzer IV, it seems like? Or it might be a Tiger, actually. It's a Panzer.
Aber du warst dort. Mein Name ist Peter Müller. Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237.
I know the Tiger tank was produced that early.
Und ich war dort.
So you guys get the chance to see my gaming skills. I've been playing a little bit of Battlefield 5, so hopefully I'm not too terrible. Oh, okay. Never mind, we're back in Germany.
Jedem Vaterlandsverteidiger wird erwartet, dass er sein Leben opfert und bis zur letzten Kugel kämpft. Wir werden unsere Städte von den Eindringlingen befreien und den Feind vernichten schlagen. Ob Mann...
Es ist doch sowieso bald alles vorbei. Müller! Sagen Sie mir, dass wir Nachschub kriegen. Und einen neuen Funker.
Das wäre gelogen, Kerz. Ich lüge niemals, das wissen Sie.
Das ist sehr anständig von Ihnen, Kommandant.
Tja. Kommandanten können Sie es eben im Gegensatz zu Fahnen nicht leisten, jeden Mist auszusprechen, der in den Sinn kommt, Schröder.
Ja, Kommandant.
Auf Ihre Position.
Yeah, the Germans are running out of war.
Eigentlich die ganze Zeit hinterherlaufen wie ein
I mean,
Streunender.
running out of men, so they need as many people as they can, including children.
Dann hast du mir bestimmt die Parteilinie erklärt.
Ich habe ihn nur daran erinnert, wer wir sind, Kerz.
Vertrau auf unsere Stärke. Vertrau auf Deutschland. Vertrau auf uns. Und?
Oh, bro. Chill. Oh, he's messed up. Yeah.
Kerz, los geht's.
Warum sprengen wir nicht einfach die Brücke und halten die Amis auf der anderen Seite?
Weil wir uns nicht zurückziehen. Wir rücken vor.
Was passiert mit denen?
Die kriegen das, was sie verdienen. Scheiß Feiglinge.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
The game looks very beautiful though. No doubt.
Anton 1, vorrücken und unsere Streitkräfte am Bahnhof unterstützen. Anton 1,
And I like how they're all speaking German too, which is good.
Bahnhof vor.
Befehl bestätigen, Hartmann.
Ja, Kommandant. Jawohl, Kommandant. Sie scheinen sich schnell zu nähern, Kommandant.
Sie beide halten die Augen offen, damit uns das nicht auch passiert.
Geschütz bereit! Das sind unsere Soldaten. Geben wir ihnen Feuerschuss.
Sie wissen, was Sie zu tun haben, Kerz.
The one thing you don't want in urban areas is tanks, because there's a lot of areas for the enemy to hide.
Feindliche Infanterie vor Ort.
MG-Feuer eröffnen.
Because originally, it was believed that tanks would be the one to support. This is kind of random info, but tanks were originally developed, or at least not by the Germans. Oh. My asshole shooting. Let's see the button. Specifically by the French, that tanks were supposed to support the infantry.
Gefällt das nicht? Sei stark, Hartmann. Befolg einfach deine Befehle.
I got him. So, when it came to tank warfare, the Germans were kind of ahead on that time. Ooh. So when it came to tank combat, even though the French had better tanks in the earlier part of the war, the Germans are the ones who kind of able to revolutionize tank warfare. But interesting enough, supposedly, de Gaulle was kind of the first people to kind of position the idea of what we consider, what we now consider to be blitzkrieg. So, interesting info there, but oh, there's it. Let's back up.
Zerstört! Bestätigter Treffer!
Panzer zerstört!
So if we're looking at historical accuracy already, well, one thing is that I don't think you'll be able to repair your tank like we're seeing here. Maybe like little, little things here and there, but historical accuracy is not real. I mean, it's there. The tanks and everything else are accurate. All the vehicles and probably everything else looks good. But gameplay has to be a video game, so it's not gonna be totally accurate.
Wir haben hier eine Menge Gegner, Kommandant! Gnade ist Schwäche. Ich werde meine Mutter stolz machen.
Suchen Sie uns Deckung! Schnell!
Scheiße, das ist nicht gut!
Unsere Panzerung wird schwächer!
That was actually kind of difficult.
Bringen Sie sich gefälligst an!
Scout for an enemy.
Nur noch eine Sekunde!
Passen Sie auf, wo Sie
Okay,
hinfahren!
we're doing that.
Tut mir leid, ist ziemlich holzig hier.
Scheiße!
Das Ziel ist erledigt! Mach irgendwas, Peter! Die Panzerung hat den Schuss einfach abgefangen! Die Lenkung hat was abgekriegt! Nicht gut! Nicht gut!
That was close. But you can see what having more numbers helps.
Stefan ist startklar!
The name Stefan. That's cool. I don't know if one tank can actually do this much damage, to be fair. I don't really think so. But it's a game. Oh, jeez.
Alles fertig!
It's interesting the character said we're alone. I think that when I was reading the just articles on it, the director who made the at least this this story was saying he wanted to be kind of be like the old submarine movies. I forget what the submarine movie is called. I'll probably put in the link, but it's oh, those are airstrike. I was saying though, they would have already called an airstrike already. Wow. Wow.
Auf Schäden überprüfen. Jawohl. Statusbericht.
Hier werden wir uns nicht lange halten können.
Jemand muss da raus, uns einen Weg suchen.
Schicken Sie Hartmann.
Wovon zur Hölle reden Sie da? Der Mann ist nicht in der Verfassung.
Vertrauen Sie auf unsere Stärke. Das waren doch eure Worte, oder? Keine Schwäche, keine Sentimentalitäten.
Oh, Herrgott, nochmal.
Sie sind so wichtig. Das können wir nicht riskieren. Und ich bediene das Geschütz.
Dann mache ich das eben.
Nein, Sie müssen fahren. Aber Hartmann, der ist doch eh eingeschlagen.
Wow.
Austauschbar.
Wow. Damn.
Wollen Sie ihn wirklich da rausschicken?
Hartmann!
Ja?
Steigen Sie aus dem Panzer. Suchen Sie uns da draußen einen Weg ins Freie.
Herrgott, nochmal, Müller, nein, der Mann ist nicht in der Verfassung.
Wow.
Bitte, Peter. Ich kann wirklich
Raus aus dem Panzer, Hartmann. Ich möchte, dass Sie Ihre Pflicht tun.
Wow. She's a kid too. I wonder if I mean I wouldn't be surprised if they had to make. I mean I think
Das
all
gilt für jeden hier.
soldiers have like if you're a soldier in a war, you have to make those type of decisions. I think this one's like a more extreme version of those decisions you make. You probably get shot. Oh wow. He probably gets shot. There's a little smoke though. He's no longer there.
Wo ist Hauptmann? Wo ist der hin?
Did he surrender himself or something?
Der desertiert.
Das wissen Sie doch gar nicht. Ruhe!
There's tanks coming. Yeah. I was like, where's all that smoke coming from?
Bewegung auf 9 Uhr.
Und auf 12 Uhr. Bringen Sie uns raus hier! Wir können doch Hartmann nicht hier lassen! Raus, los!
Kommando, alle Anton ein. Drücken Sie zur vorgeschobenen Basis vor. Zerstören Sie sämtliche Unterlagen über unsere Truppenbewegungen und stoßen Sie an der Kathedrale zum Rest unserer Streitkräfte.
Verstanden. Oberkommando.
Oberkommando Ende.
Sie wissen, was Sie zu tun haben, Kerz.
It just shows you the power that the Allies had around 1945. They were not going to win the war, the Germans.
Panzerknacker! Deckung, schnell!
Ow.
Scheiße! Komm schon, Stefan, das ist jetzt echt kein guter Zeitpunkt. Vielleicht. Dauert aber eine Weile.
Was ist mit dem Panzerknacker?
Kerz, bringen Sie Stefan wieder zum Laufen. Ich schlage mich zu den Flugabwehrgeschützen durch.
Du bist verrückt, Peter!
Außerhalb des Panzers war die Welt unmittelbarer. Der Geruch von Blut und Tod. Ohne meine stählerne Hülle unterschied mich nichts von den Leichen in den Ruinen. Ich war keine gedankenlose, allmächtige Maschine. Einfach nur ein verwundbarer Mann voller Fehler.
It's a very unique perception on that. Very unique perception. I liked it. It's like even though you still have these machines, it's still war at the end.
Sie mich gefunden?
Bin einfach dem Feuerwerk gefolgt. Stefan ist kampfbereit, aber das Funkgerät hat den Geist aufgegeben.
Fürs Erste kommen wir auch ohne zurecht. Weiter zur vorgeschobenen Basis.
Alles fertig!
I wonder if the German 4 base will even be there when we get there.
Das ist die Basis.
Was jetzt?
Geben Sie mir Deckung, wenn möglich. Ich suche die Dokumente.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody there. Health every other one. Thank you. Oh, see a lot of German. A lot of Germans committed suicide.
Ich denke, das war's. Das war's. Fahren wir zur Kathedrale.
Straight forward. Oh, that's the other way.
Noch ein Treffer und das war's!
Fahren Sie weiter, sonst könnte der nächste Treffer der letzte sein. Wie kommen Sie voran, Kerz?
Komm schon, Stefan, reiß dich zusammen!
Man, we can take on the entire American army with this tank.
Was soll das werden, Kerl? Nur die Ruhe, wir schaffen das schon.
It's crazy because at the beginning of this mission, like the Germans were actually going on the attack, but now since that's happened, we have no more reinforcements, which is interesting to see. And I think because it kind of shows how, like, even in the beginning, the character's all like, oh, "Why are we going on the defense?" And our character goes, or the character we're playing, he goes, "No, we're going on the attack." Oh, cutscene. German, so it must be in Germany already. What's his face on there? Is that his?
Hartmann? Dieser Idiot!
Halten Sie den Mund.
getan wie befohlen.
Seine Pflicht? Nein, er war ein Verräter.
Einer von uns.
Fahren Sie weiter zum Hauptquartier.
That scene kind of portrayed, like, this is the results of the decisions we made.
Wo sind die Verteidigungsstellungen? Kommandant, was ist hier los?
Ich werde es herausfinden. Und Sie reißen sich zusammen, Schröder.
It's kind of like, you know, they started this war, and as a brave, heroic, like the Tiger tank is a symbol of that. And now it's ruined and nothing is. It's like they've been lied to, essentially.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Nothing. No one's on the radio.
Wo ist jetzt die große Verteidigung? Hier sollte sie doch sein.
Wir sind allein.
Yeah.
Bleiben Sie, wo Sie sind. Ich besorge uns ein intaktes Funkgerät.
The Germans don't, I mean, on the Western Front, the Germans don't really, there's not that much
Meine
fighting.
Männer in Sicherheit sein würden, würde ich Zeit haben, über alles nachzudenken und die Lage zu bewerten. Das redete ich mir jedenfalls ein. Damals habe ich meine eigenen Lügen nicht erkannt.
Achtung, Achtung! Alle Truppen, die den Fluss noch nicht überquert haben, müssen den Rückzug mit allen Mitteln sichern. Lassen Sie niemanden auf die Brücke. Halten Sie die Position an der Kathedrale.
The cathedral is surrounded. Lower your weapons. You cannot win this fight.
Für Deutschland! Wir sind hier, um Deutschland zu verteidigen!
Verflucht! Sind Sie verrückt? Ruhe! Alle! In Bewegung bleiben oder Deckung suchen! Volltreffer!
I'm just absolutely not a good shot.
Smash.
The problem with tanks back in these days is that they didn't have auto stabilization, so every time I move, the gun moves as well, which is not something you see on a Sherman tank, but a modern battle tank. I bet you they blow up the bridge before we get there. Or if we even do get there. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get there or not. They blow up the bridge, I bet. Really epic though. Yep, they both. track's falling off.
Die haben uns verraten.
Ja.
Die haben die Brücke gesprengt. Die wollen uns hier verrecken lassen.
Das weißt du nicht, Kerz. Komm, wir müssen jetzt...
Was? Stärke zeigen. Hä? Herrgott doch mal. Sieh dich doch um, Peter. Gott steh uns bei. Alles, woran wir geglaubt haben. Alles, was wir dafür getan haben. Es ist vorbei.
Nein, Kerz. Komm. Tu das nicht, Kerz.
Peter, es ist vorbei.
Oh! Bro.
Er war ein Verräter.
Kerz! Kerz!
The power of brainwashing.
Aber er ist desertiert. Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, richtig? Die Schwachen überleben nicht. Das waren doch ihre Worte, oder? Sagen Sie's! War das nicht so? Just give up, damn it!
No more. Is that what Hitler said? Where he shot himself? Murderers are not monsters, they are men. And that's the most frightening thing about men. Huh. Okay, everybody. So we just finished. The Last Tiger, one of Battlefield 5's war stories, and here's my overall review on it. So, the story was interesting. I like the story. It was very much like a tank crew, and and what kind of happens in that event. It reminded me a lot of the movie Fury. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they got a little bit of their inspiration from. But also the submarine movie that they also mentioned. I haven't seen that movie. I'll probably put that in the edit. But it kind of what I've heard from that movie is very much it's like very stealthy, kind of like The Hunt for the Red October a little bit, I guess, kind of like that, where it's like there's a bunch of enemies out there, and you're just this one tank or this one submarine in that instance. trying to survive against all odds essentially. But in that sense, it's very much like Fury. I think just to give a little bit of, like, historical, I guess historical backstory on just not the war, but just like how the Germans, how they thought about the war. The Germans, the reason why they wanted to go to war in 1939, well, mainly because Hitler was the leader of that party. I mean, of course, that's very simple to understand. But the one thing that Hitler promised, and I think a lot of other Germans wanted around that time, is someone to kind of blame. So, when Hitler was taking power, he was saying that the Jews or other people were responsible for them. Like the politicians, for example, were the ones who were responsible for Germany for losing the First World War, which kind of led to the economic instability of the Weimar Republic after the First World War. Even though there's some debate on how much of that was the case, not really like, well, one of them being that like actually the Weimar Republic actually had a lot of money because the United States was giving them loans, but a lot of it was like self-sabotage in that case, and also the crash that happened around 1930, the world economy crash also didn't help it as well. But beyond that, Hitler promised that if you give him leadership, Germany that is, that everything will be fine. And to be fair, though, I mean, not that it was a good thing, but Hitler did increase the German economy. But the reason was because he pretty much started the Germany war economy, but just building tanks, getting soldiers in the army, guns and things of that nature. And so that's how pretty much Hitler was able to start up the German economy. And then beyond that, he was able to rally this idea that Germany was this amazing nation that should rule over Europe, or at least have what's known as Lebensraum, which is living space, which he wanted to expand into Eastern Europe because he believed that was the best way for the German race to make itself even better, and to also defeat France, which was to kind of get back that loss that Germany had acquired. So with all those things, Hitler kind of promised Germany this idea that Germans wanted to hear, since they were pushed so much down after the First World War. So it kind of inspired them to do these things. And then after they saw the positive things that Hitler was able to do, them all the wars they were to win, the more credibility, at least, that Hitler believed that he got from his people. And then he began all the terrible things that we all know about under Hitler's regime. And so when we go later into the war, which this campaign talks about, or which this story talks about, many still believe that if you listen to Hitler's words, that Germany will still see those positive vibes and all that good stuff. But as we see in the game, that was totally not the case. All these broken promises, these lies, as one of the characters, this idea of lying. Which began in the beginning of the story, and also at the end as well. It began a lie, end as a lie. You start to see everything start to unbuckle and waver in front of them. And in general, even like the people who were like not in the SS, but people who were tied to army units that did a lot of bad things, not bad things, but like committed a lot of atrocities in the nature, they still didn't see that. They didn't see themselves as doing negative things. They thought themselves as doing something proud, something that's helping their nation, their cause. But in reality, they were committing war crimes. And I don't remember the quote at the end, but it said about I'll probably put the quote back up. But pretty much it talked about how it's not monsters who commit these acts; it's men who commit these acts, these murderous acts. And I think at the same time, the game is giving us a little bit of an argument in the sense of what is human nature, and does all human nature lead to this? I don't know about that part, but I know all humans are capable of very terrible acts. And even in the Second World War, the United States did terrible things, but of course they didn't get any war crimes committed on them. I mean, if you look at the bombings that occurred in Hamburg, and all these other German cities, all the firebombing the British as well, and also when the Americans went to war against the Japanese, all the firebombings, and then all the of course the 2 nuclear bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. I think all humans are capable of committing these acts, and I don't know. It's not to say that. Well, I mean, of course, killing large scores of civilians is not good, no matter which side you're on. But I think the thing I want to talk about more, focus on more, is just that war is a very terrible thing, and that each side is complicit in terrible acts committed on each side. But overall, I like the story was good. I liked kind of the way they went with it. Through the middle, I was feeling that the story was not going to have any emotional impact. One thing I was going to point to was the fact that you don't stay with these characters a long time. Even though you don't get to spend a lot of time with these characters, I would say that you still get somewhat of an emotional impact, and you start to see like the two different people like people that like the believers, like the kid, and also the commander we play as, and then also the driver, the more realistic people, the people who've seen like all the things they were promised, and for the lie to kind of show up. For the kid, it's like I bet you he was in Germany for most of the war, and he was giving fed this information of, probably in the Hitler Youth or something similar to that, about how Germany's greatness, and that if you listen to Hitler or anything like that, or listen to the party, then everything will be fine. And so you start to see the two different sides of the people who are involved in that conflict. And then I think the scene that spoke to me most was the before the church scene, where you have to fight off the people. But before that, you start to see like everyone is like upset, like all the German citizens are like upset, and also you have a little bit of a juxtaposition with the audio telling all the good things that will happen if you listen to Germany, and then of course you see the actual realistic results of that event, or at least the conflict. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed my somewhat competitive gaming. Well, I'm actually pretty good, except it's hard to talk in. I'm still getting over that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want me to cover the other stories, or you want to give me some advice on how I can make this content better, definitely send over a comment. And yeah, and I'll hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.